This is the Transformers Generation Studio Series core class from the movie Transformers Rise of the Beasts. We have Arcee. I picked up this figure from Amazon.com. Here's a quick look at the packaging and the box art. She looks great. I've seen her in the trailer. I have high expectations for this character, but this figure in the core class is tiny. Very, very small figure. And I think they're going for scale. The Studio Series is all about scale and detail. So, I don't know. We'll see. I hope this figure does not disappoint. Let's get her out of packaging. And here is Studio Series Rise of the Beast Arcee out of the box. And this figure is, well, it's sort of a mixed bag for me. I'm kind of torn between hating and loving this figure. Because on the one hand, you got a lot of things going for this figure. Mainly the sculpt. I love the colors. Transformation engineering is a little shaky in my opinion, but then there's a lot of things about this figure that's preventing it from being an exceptional figure. And you look right here, what a great robot sculpt. Up front, you can see some really nice highlights. You got a great head sculpt. The torso looks great. You got some details going on there. You got very proportioned arms and legs. But then when you turn the figure around, you get all this junk, not even hidden. They didn't even try to hide it. It's just sticking out on her back. And I think that's what's ruining this figure for me. Now, you're saying it's a core class. Yeah, a lot of limitations in the core class. And what do you expect? Okay, I get it. But we've gotten a lot of really pretty good core class figures like Ratchet, among others. But I think they could have avoided this issue had they made this figure a deluxe class figure. Now, I get it, they're trying to put everything in scale, and for Arcee to be in scale with the other Studio Series figures from the movie, she's gotta be in the core class. Okay. Head to toe, the figure stands at about 9.5 centimeters tall, or about 3 2/3 inches tall. For comparisons, here she is with some other Arcee figures in my collection, as well as core class Optimus Prime. They had a really good thing going with the Nightverse Arcee. I don't understand why they had to detract so much from this design, like what they did with Wheeljack. And given that this is a deluxe figure, it compresses very, very nicely into a nice compact motorcycle. I think they could have taken a page from the designs of this figure and turned it into the new Rise of the Beasts Arcee. I honestly don't think they had to go this small just to keep Arcee in scale with the rest of the Autobots in the movie. And speaking of the rest of the Autobots, here we have, together with the Bumblebee movie Arcee, we've got Wheeljack, Bumblebee, and Optimus Prime. And to be quite honest, I know they're trying to make her in scale because in the trailer we've seen that Arcee was sort of human in size, just a little taller than a human in the movie, but I honestly think they could have made her a little bit taller, just like this. Even if it wasn't going to be a perfect scale with the other figures, they could have made her this tall or as a deluxe class and found a way to compress and shift all that mass into a small motorcycle. I honestly think it's possible. I don't really think they had to go this small. Taking a look at the details of this figure, you got a phenomenal head sculpt. Look at that. I'm a big fan of that. That's probably the best thing going for this figure. You got a nicely sculpted chest. The arms, legs are proportioned, and a ton of kibble on the back. She comes with her weapon. This is a Cybertronian sander, where she can, when she's in the workshop and she's building some handicraft and when she has a workbench and she's trying to build a stool or a table, this is what she uses to sand the wood, and it doubles as a flashlight. Articulation for the figure: the head is on a ball joint. You got a waist swivel because of transformation. You got some hinge action for the shoulders. You got a ball jointed shoulder, ball jointed elbow, ball jointed hip. The knees are on sort of double hinges because of transformation, but the other hinge bends the wrong way. No rocker tilt, and that's about it. As far as paint apps go, I do like the paint apps. It's very vibrant. I like this reimagining of Arcee, and she's not so much like all pink and white. You got a little bit of red. She's kind of bordering on Minerva or Elita 1. Yeah, I love the gold paint on the rims. I mean, it's such a quality figure. Plastic on this thing is okay. I mean, it's It's not cheap, definitely. It's not super hard. The light red plastic, like on the hips and the arms, they kind of feel cheap, but they're actually pretty solid. So, on all fronts of quality and design, I think it's okay. It's not terrible. It's just that there's just so much junk in the back that it's so hard to appreciate this figure completely. And maybe if you can just stand her like facing front, I mean, she looks great. To transform her into her, should I say, BMW sports bike? I don't know if it's licensed. Okay, get rid of the weapon. You want to go ahead and pop the head forward. You want to fold the shoulders and raise the arms up like this. Now, this is probably the most annoying bit of the transformation because the arms, they really don't tab as nicely as what the instructions describe. So you peg in the elbows and the shoulders, and then the forearms, you'll need to put one over the other and slide that peg in. Rotate that waist. Okay, and the wheel, you're gonna rotate it this way. You're gonna split the legs. You're gonna fold up this front part of the motorcycle just above her crotch piece. You wanna rotate the hips or the thighs, and then you're gonna fold out the wheels, and then the knees are gonna bend like this. You'll know where they should land because it's like forming a puzzle. What's left is really to just fold the legs down here. Combine the wheels, make sure they all peg in properly. This bit right here, you want to tab it onto the forearms. Okay, and that should complete the basic look of the motorcycle. I say basic because it's still missing the kickstand or part of the engine. And the instructions just tell you to plug this weapon in and it forms the base of the motorcycle. Now, if you plug it all the way in, you will notice that the kickstand is just way too high to really make her, to make the motorcycle or the bike stand in a very stable position. The bike will just topple over if you shake the shelf too much or shake the table too much. So what I want to do is you try and unplug it, and then when you plug it in, just do it like halfway or 1/3 the way, and that way it's closer to the ground and you'll have a stable standing bike. And there you go. Here is Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Core Class Arcee in her alt mode. It's a nice looking race bike. It's not licensed or anything like that. Doesn't really matter. I do like the solidness of this bike. You get some gaps here and there, but overall for a Core Class alt mode, it actually looks pretty good. For comparisons with other motorcycles or motorbikes in the Legacy line, we've got Prowl, we got the Prime Universe Arcee, and we have Crash Bar. And here she is with Rise of the Beast Studio Series Bumblebee, as well as Bumblebee Movie Studio Series Arcee. And even at Core Class scale, she's still not a perfect scale with a deluxe class figure like Bumblebee. And I don't think it's possible to make her really in scale unless you turn her into a Micromaster figure, and that would be way too small. As such, if she's not going to be in scale anyway, why not just make her a deluxe class figure? I mean, if the bike were a little bit bigger, it was as big as this, I honestly wouldn't mind. Some final thoughts on the Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Core Class Arcee. The figure is sort of like a semi-fail, in my opinion. I think they had a lot of things going for this figure, particularly the fantastic bike mode, alt mode, and the really wonderful robot sculpt. But the ton of kibble and junk that they just couldn't hide in robot mode just really ruins this figure for me. I honestly think that they could have avoided all of this had they turned this Arcee instead of a core class figure and kept her as a deluxe class figure. Arcee is a figure that is well loved by fans, and I don't think the core class scale does her justice. She looks great in the movie, and I sincerely hope that Hasbro reconsiders giving her a bigger figure class scale size in the Studio Series line. With that, I'm going to give the figure a 7 out of 10. It's still a fairly decent figure to have in your collection if you're just trying to complete the casts for Rise of the Beast in the Studio Series line. I think it's a missed opportunity. They could have given us an exceptional Arcee figure had they made her a deluxe class figure. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Studio Series Rise of the Beasts Core Class Arcee. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.